me really quick. I should have had the camera on the tripod, but we're going to get it together as everybody comes in. So I wanted to share this with you all because we just had a real short shower. So it's very humid out. I was about to go outside, and as I was getting ready to go outside, we had a shower. I am not at all upset because I have not been able to get out and water some of the things as I want to. So whenever it rains like that, I still have so many things to do inside. We have started some of our we've started a last round of herbs, the basil, because this year I always make pesto with basil and do like a Mediterranean herb blend, but I wanted to make some basil salt. So we have one more round of that, but we also started some dill, which is a cool weather herb for us here in Georgia, Zone 8A now. But what I'm planting today, I wanted to share with you all, is I'm going to start a couple of our fall flower seeds, but we're going to start them inside. I feel like with these, you possibly could start them outside. And the reason why I say that is because as I was cleaning out the herb bed, I do see some of the calendula, which is what we're going to plant today, but we're going to plant two types, which I want to share with you about. But the calendula, I do see them germinating. I was pulling the spring planted calendula up. It had went to seed, which was my intention, and some of the seeds that drop, they're already germinating. But these are my own seeds right here, and I had more, but I made a mess in the garden and a lot of them just fell. And so I was like, don't get upset. So this is the alpha calendula, and I grow the alpha or resina calendula because it has a high resin for medicinal purposes. We use it for calendula salve, we use it for tea. And let me tell y'all, as you're starting to garden, start saving your seeds on some of the things. Now, it's all kind of little things that you might need to know about, but just get into the habit of starting to let some of your things go to seed and then save that seed. As a matter of fact, before I got on live, y'all know the garlic that we harvested earlier. I went down to the basement and I was looking at some of the bigger bulbs because in a couple of weeks, what I'm going to do is take out some of the best bulbs, put them in the refrigerator. Those will be my seed garlic, and we're going to start garlic all over again. The one thing you're going to find when you start to garden is it produces so much abundance, and then you're able to share with others, and then you're able to save seeds. So that's what we're doing. But we're still going to plant these in the herb garden. I'm going to put some more in the raised beds too. Now, the calendula last fall here in the Atlanta area did very well up until we got snow. And then they just kind of, took a little hit. Some still survived, but I know it's a great fall flower. Let me give you some more cool weather. I won't necessarily say fall. I'm going to tell you cool weather flowers because they enjoy the spring temperature too. So you have calendula, you have bachelor buttons, you have pansies, Johnny Jump Ups. Those are some snapdragons. Those are some of the cool weather flowers that our area. Remember, I always tell you, you got to know your first fall frost, your last spring frost, and your growing zone. But those are some of the cool weather plants if you want to plant in your garden, depending on your zone, because some of our northern friends, they may can't grow anything at all. But these, what we're going to plant today, y'all, and I got my labeling thing, we're going to plant the bun bun calendula, which is more of an ornamental calendula. Those are included in our fall garden seed kit. If you're interested in our fall garden seed kit, make sure you go to auyannaplants.com And the fall garden seed kits includes 4 different varieties of gourmet lettuce, cilantro, and the bun calendula. But I want to go ahead and I want to get these planted. Now, if you're not subscribed, okay, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because y'all know each and every season I take you along on like what we're growing, how it's doing, even if it's not doing good, because this is what I want to tell y'all real quick. So the deal that we started, because remember I said it's a cool weather deal. Dill is a cool weather herb. Dill and parsley and cilantro, those are cool weather herbs. We had the dill in our spring summer kit, and then now we have the cilantro that are in the fall winter kit. But the deal requires it requires a lot of time until I plan it out, just because I go down there, I bottom water it, I water it a little bit on the top, and then like in a day and a half or so, it's ready again, like for some water. It's to me personally, it just acts like it's thirsty all the time. So I just said the other day, let me go ahead and let me harden off the deal, which is basically acclimating it to where I'm going to be, and then put it out. And the deal, what I will probably do, to be honest, y'all, is when I harden the deal off, I'm going to put a shade cover over there, because I don't want the deal to bolt and start going to seed. It's really pretty when it does. It brings a lot of butterflies to it, but this is for our fall planting. So let me show you for our alpha calendula. Since I'm putting it in the herb garden, I'm not going to plant a lot. I'm going to also put it in the raised beds as well, because it is very cold tolerant. Like I said, when we got the snow and it was 13, it did kind of take a little bit of hit, but not all of them. It always depends on where it's at. So let me share with you the container that I'm going to be planting this in, and then we'll plant the bonbon calendula. And I really want y'all to be with me on here for the simple fact that I do not want to go to bed without doing this. I've had this on my to-do list for about 3 days now, and I'm like, you've got to do it. So if y'all remember, these were some kits that I picked up. And if you're watching the replay or if you're watching now, I am noticing a lot of the stores are starting to they're starting to mark down a lot of their gardening items. So around right now they're about 25% off, but wait a little bit longer, unless it's something that you see and you absolutely want and they don't have a large quantity for it, then I always say go ahead and get it. But over the next few couple of months or few weeks, they're starting to mark down a lot of their gardening items. So this was one of the gardening items that either we got last season or the season before. And I had my pros and cons about this particular seed starting tray. So this is by Burpee. I like that it is really, what I will tell y'all is very easy to like pop the starts out. They have a bottom watering tray, which I like. But my only suggestion is, especially when it comes to seed starting and you're starting seeds inside, is it does not come with that humidity dome, or that dome that normally goes on top of a lot of seed starting trays. It doesn't come with that. So I have to do like my own makeshift dome for the seed starter. But other than that, I will say the number one thing I love about it is when you get ready to transplant your seedlings, it's so easy to just like push this up and like pop them out. Don't leave these outside. You can ask me why. Don't leave these outside, even and when it's hot, especially for an area like this, because I did lose a few because this bottom, the heat doesn't like this, and it will like crack and you won't be able to do it. But I want to share with y'all, you don't necessarily have to get a seed starting mix. I like a seed starting mix. Since I start a lot of seeds, I buy the seed starting mix in bulk. It's a Pro Mix seed starting mix. That's what it says. Organic, like seed starting mix. Now you can get a seed starting mix, and the reason why a lot of people start their seeds with the seed starting mix is because it's light, it's airy. When you put the seeds in there, the plants don't have to use a whole bunch of their energy to like germinate and pop up from the soil. Do not use garden soil for starting seeds. That soil is too heavy. I'm not saying that it won't germinate, but if you ever get a chance, feel the weight of a garden soil, a potting mix, a seed starting soil. Now, if you cannot get a hold to a seed starting soil, do not let that deter you from not starting seeds, okay? Get you a potting soil. But don't, my suggestion, I always tell people you can do what you want. Don't get a garden soil. That's really heavy. That's for in-ground. Your garden soil is like for in-ground. You mix a little compost. But this right here, since I'm always starting seeds, this particular right here is a seed starting mix. Let me show you a bag that I got with the kit. I have seen these at the big box stores. I got this bag with the kit that was on clearance. It came with the seed starting tray, domes, and the bottom tray. And so I have used this as well. You see how it says seed starting mix? So I have used that. I've used other brands of seed starting mix too. But like I said, the difference is the weight of the soil. You can make your own seed starting mix. There's so many recipes on here. And let me tell y'all, because y'all know, if you've been with me for a while, you know I love the soil block. But let me tell you, when I opt to do seed starting with transplants, and I wet this up first. And let me tell y'all why I wet it up. Then we'll go back to soil blocking versus transplants. I wet this up because depending on when I start seeds, what size seeds, if you go to watering on top, you could possibly dislodge the seeds. And I want them to stay right where I put them. That's just me. But I'm not saying you could put this in dry and then lightly. Don't come with a hard jet. Don't come with like a hard jet setting. Maybe come with a mist or a rain setting and go over the top. But I already make sure my soil is saturated. And I'm doing this so my hand doesn't get in the way. I'm doing this so it's already saturated, because if you see the saturation in this soil, once I put my calendula seeds in here, I am not going to water this. This soil is saturated enough so I could put my seeds in here, put my makeshift humidity dome, because remember, this doesn't come with a humidity dome. Now, what I'm going to tell you is our deluxe seed kits online. If you order those, they do come with the humidity dome. So let me show y'all really quick. Where is my dome? Hold on, y'all. So hold on. I just need one. Okay, I just need one. And these are reusable. I will tell y'all these are reusable, but if you get, so we have a deluxe seed kit and then we have just the regular seed kits. You don't have to get the seed kits with the thing. Now, this is my personal one. Y'all are going to get clean ones, new ones, if you choose to order. But it comes, the reason why I love this one and why I chose to go with this company when we do our seed kits is because I love the clear cell tray. You get the bottom tray right here, and then you get it's a humidity dome where you can adjust it. But these are new. What y'all will get is new. But you can opt for that too. You can also, don't think you have to use seed starting trays. Like if we got these cups at the beginning of the season. They have, like the dollar stores, different things like that, where you can get like different sizes. So my point is, don't think you have to go out and just spend all of this excessive money on making seeds. On starting seeds. I always tell people, once they start to grow and put it, whether it be in a container, whether it be in a raised bed, I'd rather for you to spend your money on quality, good soil. Build your soil. I can't tell you what to use because we're all over. I remember suggesting Pro Mix potting mix. One of our northern friends said they did not like that because it kept the soil way too wet for them. But for me in Georgia, because it's hot, it dries out quick. And with containers, you have to you have to water your containers more. Pro Mix works for me. So I only tell you what I use, but do a little testing and do what works for you. Now, because I start a lot of seeds, the Pro Mix is what works for me as far as the seed starting medium. So what I'm going to do is I am just simply going to fill all of these holes. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be 36 plants right here. And then with our bonbon calendula, what we're going to do, I think that's 40 plants. So we're going to plant 36 of the medicinal type calendula and then 40 of the ornamental. All calendula has some medicinal properties, but the two that I just said, especially if you're just joining us, the resina and the alpha has a higher resin for medicinal purposes. But I love planting calendula in the fall and the spring. It really shines. And you might have to go back and watch the replay. I left out another cool weather plant that does good for us. Now, people in other regions, I've known them to grow it in the summer. But for us, because it's so hot and humid here, it kind of teeters out in the summer. But nasturtiums will be another plant that we're going to start for the fall. It may not last as long as the calendula, but it still does good like early fall into early spring. And so we're going to make sure we plant this too. I'll try to go live with y'all again for the simple fact I actually use a file for my nasturtium before I plant them in the soil. But because I don't want to put my arm in y'all way, I just fill this and I lightly, not heavily pack the soil, but I just go here and just make sure it's, filled, and we do that and we go over. Now, depending on the size of the seed is how deep you want to plant it. Be careful. Small seeds, a lot of times it's like a fourth of an inch deep. Larger seeds, it may be like a half of an inch. But just be careful because each of these seeds have enough energy for you to be able to plant them and for them to be able to push it up. If it's a small seed and you push it way down, it may not germinate. It may not germinate. But if it's a thick one, a larger one, you do want to maybe plant it a little bit deeper. So the calendula, I'm probably going to go in my dowel. I don't have it with me, so we're going to use our fingers. I'm good for using that too. So what I do, y'all, is for this calendula, we're going to make probably about a half an inch right here in the middle. And let me share with you how I determine, do I want to plant one seed per tray, one seed per cell, 2 seeds, 3 seeds, like what do I want to do? So oftentimes if I get seeds, whether I get them to sell or if I get them to plant, not all seed companies do this. We got to put a little bit more right here. But I like the seed companies that put their germination rate on there. So if the germination rate is about, just say 90 or above, I'm only planting one seed per cell right here. If it's below 80, then I'll probably do maybe 2 or 3 per cell tray. But here is the thing right here. If you're garden planning and you say, I got a place for 35, which is 36 calendula. If you have already mapped out that space, I suggest you get another container, whether it be this 12 plant or whether it be an 18 seed tray, and plant about 25% more than what you think you will need. Because just because I'm planting 36 in this cell tray, that does not mean that all 36 are going to germinate. So since these are my seeds, and I have saw them already germinated in the herb garden, but I haven't did like a true testing on it. So this is going to be my true test. So because these are my seeds, I'm going to do two per, let me show y'all. I'm going to do two per cell. And this is going to help me determine the germination rate as well. Yeah, this is about a half an inch, right? And we're just going to drop in two. I'll show y'all. Like, I go ahead because let me tell you, it's been so many times where I have missed a whole row. So I don't even cover my stuff up until I see that everything has been filled. It can happen. I know y'all say, like, how does that happen? But it has been times where I'm thinking something is wrong with the germination and I have missed a whole row and never planted anything there. But a lot of times I like for the seed companies to have their germination rate because it helps me determine, okay, I am going to do a lot of your leafy greens. They have a 90 or above germination rate. So I only do one seed per cell tray. But remember, sometimes I'll garden plan, y'all, and then when I garden plan, I'll change on you in a minute. Like, I will change. So again, like, if I have determined that I need 36 plants, which is this. I'm like, I need 36 plants. I'm not going to plant 36. I'm probably going to plant like 48. So I'm going to find another cell tray and I'm going to plant it just in case. And the reason why I say that as well is also because you can grow it. This can germinate. It could be growing on, especially if you're starting it inside. You can harden it off. And then as soon as you harden it off and put in the garden, it can check out on you. Do y'all know how many plants I've had and I've planted side by side? And as soon as I plant it in the ground, these are all the same plants. One of them just goes limp or it doesn't make it. So if you plan for 36, then guess what? You don't have the 36 no more. So that's why I do it. Now, y'all know I'm always tell you can do whatever you want to because it's your garden. But if I'm planting 36, I'm probably going to plant 48. Now, since these are the medicinal ones, the alpha ones, I really only need about 18 for the herb garden. But what I'm going to do with the extra that pops up is we're going to put them in the raised beds, kind of like as a companion plant, like in the middle, because these right here, these get maybe about 18 to 24 inches in height, the alpha ones. Now, the bun calendula that we have in our kit, they only get about 12 inches in height. We put several pictures up, but they're more for beauty, ornamental purposes. Like I said, I'm not saying that it doesn't have any medicinal purposes because it does, but I just really mainly grow them specifically for the beauty of it. And I grow my alpha calendula or my resina calendula. I grow that to put in our herbal teas to offer online as loose leaf flowers. They're edible. You could put these on salads, which I thought was great to add to our fall kit because we got 4 gourmet lettuces and then we got cilantro. So I'm just filling these up. But so that I'm not on here long, let me tell y'all what I do. Let's go ahead and, okay, I'm going to stop talking so much. I'm going to go ahead and fill these up because I want to show you what I do. So if you've been tracking with us, normally I have a little dowel and I don't. It's in the house because I looked right at it. But I just made a little indentation I'm going to say about a half an inch. Now I said I'm going to put 2 in here, but some 3 have fell in here as well. So we're just going to do 3. Now, remember, these are the seeds that I saved from my own garden. And I know that they're germinating because the ones in the herb garden has already started popping up. So again, I'm going to start these inside, but I'm not saying that you can't start them outside because they've already started to germinate. What I will tell you is depending on the area that you're in, start them outside. If you start them in cell trays, just put them kind of like in a a shady area at first. And then you can adjust. You can adjust as you go. But that's what we're doing. And I want to show y'all how I lightly cover these, because remember, we need a little bit more soil in here. You don't want to plant these too deep. These have enough energy for you to be able, for this plant, once I show you how I cover it, to be able to push up. And then once they push up and germinate, then that's when the games begin, y'all. It's on us. And just say, for instance, so I'm putting about 3 in here right now. I'm not going to let all 3 of these stay. Now I'm going to tell y'all something. Some people going to disagree. Some people not going to like what I say. It just depends on the plant. So y'all know back in the day, I used to teach that you pick the strongest plant. So just say, for instance, all 3 of these germinate. You pick the strongest plant and you cut the others off at the edges. Well, with some of the seed starting trays like this and like the clear ones that come in our kit, what I have been doing on some plants, now it just depends, because if you plant a seed and the roots don't really like being disturbed, for example, sunflower, I don't separate them out. But for plants where you can kind of disturb their roots, I will pull them up and I'll take a butter knife and I will kind of like section it off as much as I can without too much disturbing the other plant. And then I will make other plants with this. So I'm not saying that I'm going to cut all of these off. Like if all 3 germinate, I will see how they're growing, how closely they're going, and then how that goes. But you don't want to keep, like, once they germinate, and I'm going to say the way I do it, if they get like their first set of true leaves after the cotyledon stage, because if you notice when you start seeds, then all of them have those cotyledons. You can't really tell what the plant is by the leaves. Then they start getting what their true leaves are. Once they get to that stage, I like to go ahead, if you're going to cut them off at the soil level, if you're going to separate them, go ahead and do that, because you don't want them to start competing for the nutrients, because all of them might not win. Some of them might win. So when it gets to that stage, again, if you're not subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to take y'all through the whole process. Yes, Elsa, these are 36 because these are our medicinal calendula. We're also planting the bonbon, but this is the medicinal calendula that I saved from seeds that we offer online. As like, I'm not a doctor, always consult with your doctor. But calendula is great for making calendula salve. Like if you have bites, I also make calendula tea, which is known to assist with moving like the lymph fluid in your body. It's good for to assist. I have to be careful with my words. Assist with digestion, and then it also makes pretty garnish. That if you're making a salad, just garnish some of that. It's an edible flower. So these I'm going to plant 36 of, but my bonbon calendula for the ornamental purposes, we're going to plant 40 of those, and we're going to put those kind of at the beginning. Y'all know how when you garden with our raised garden beds, I kind of put the shorter plants at the front and on the side and the taller plants in the middle. So the bonbon calendula will be some of our in front plants and on the side. But let me share with y'all. Okay, so we got all of these planted, right? So now I'm not going to take this thick layer. I'm not going to take a thick layer. And I'm kind of being a little different because normally I will come from this way, but I don't want to block the camera. So we're going to come from this way. So we're going to take, remember, my soil is already wet. When I go put these on the growing rack and the heating mat, that's another thing you have to know. Like, what is the ideal temperature to germinate? And the reason why I say that is calendula, great temperature. Even if you don't have a heating mat, you could still germinate calendula. The only reason why I'm mentioning that, because so many people have problems starting spinach, which I didn't want to include it in our grow kit, because calendula likes to germinate. I mean, not calendula, but spinach germinates at a cooler temperature, like between 68 and 65. So you don't necessarily need a heating mat for that. So, but this, whether you put it on the heating mat or off the heating mat, it'll be fine. But what I do is I come in, not with a thick layer, y'all, and we just gonna eye it. There's no measurements, nothing like that. And I'm just gonna spread this thin layer on top to cover it. I'm not about to press down. I just literally want to cover these seeds. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. Some seeds require darkness to germinate. Some seeds, they need light to germinate, okay? Calendula requires darkness to germinate, so you need to just cover it lightly, y'all. I can't tell you if it's a half an inch or four. I can't tell y'all what it is. You see how I just went really lightly, and I'm just doing like this to just flatten it out. I'm not about to press in these like this. And then, like I said, I got a makeshift. The only thing I don't like about these is they don't have the humidity dome. And so I got a makeshift humidity dome that I took from like another package that's almost this size, and we're going to put it on here. It's not adjustable like our seed kits, our deluxe seed kits that come with that little adjustable dome. When you put the humidity dome on for this, it's not adjustable. So every day, what I do, or every other day, is I will check on them, and I will go and lift up the humidity dome to give it some air. And then I will, once they germinate, I'm going to tell y'all about once they germinate, but I want to answer Elsa's question. Is calendula and marigold the same? So you will see on some calendula packages, it says pot marigold. Some people say pot marigold, some people say calendula. Now, the marigold, as far as the leaves for the calendula and the marigold, are different. They may be in the same family, and you may see pot marigold. So if you see pot marigold, 9 times out of 10, they're talking about calendula. And then you got the marigold. And if you look at the marigold seeds, they're totally different. Like the marigold seeds remind me of little straws, like little broomstick straws. If y'all remember back in the day, like with the little broom, I got a story. I'll tell that story later. But they're different. Like these look like some little aliens. Like, this is like the marigold seed. So what I'm saying is, even if you see pot marigold, 9 times out of 10, they're talking about calendula. And then marigold is like marigold, like that. So that's a great question. Thanks, Elsa, for asking that. But, okay, so we're going to put our lid on. And it's going to have some condensation. So that's why I said every day I'm just going to lift up the top. And the reason why I'm going to lift up the top, because I want to let this area get air. Oftentimes, if it just stays like that, you'll see that green algae growing on the soil. So that's why I come and I lift up my makeshift top. I lift it up and I just kind of drain it. Okay, but this is when I take the top fully off. So again, hit the subscribe button. Once I get about a 50% germination of these, I'm going to take the top all the way off. I'm not going to put it on no more. I'm going to take it off the heating mat, and I'm going to put it under the strong grow lights and let it go on. Now, this is almost about to be mid-August. So I'll let these grow probably to about second, third week of September. I'll harden them off for about 7 to 10 days, which is acclimating the soil. And then I'm going to put them out in the garden. I think the temperatures now here in Georgia, even in the Atlanta area, it's still going to be hot. We may have moved down to like 89, but it's still going to be hot. But the nighttime temperatures will start to cool. It'll start to cool slowly but surely. And I think that about the second or third week in September, that'll be a great time to harden off and go ahead and these will be in the herb garden. But since this is a taller plant, I'm also going to put these like in the middle of some of our leafy greens. We're going to plant a lot of leafy greens, a lot of lettuces. So we're going to put that in there. So we've got done with our own seeds. This is the alpha calendula. And depending on, because y'all know I always love to encourage people to start seeds and encourage people to learn how to grow seeds. Depending on the germination rate of these seeds and what I collect up until next spring, we may just offer these as part of our seed kit as well. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get off. I'm going to do the bun calendula. And they're all types of calendula, y'all. It's so many different beautiful calendulas. One of the darker orange pretty ones is like Oktoberfest. They got zeolites. It's all types and colors of calendula. So you gotta grow what you love to look at. But I love to grow these for medicinal purposes. So we're gonna go ahead, find my makeshift stuff, y'all. We're gonna put this in the grow room. Then we're gonna do our bun calendula. Now, one more time, if you have not ordered the seed kits, go to Auyanna Plants, AUYANNAPLANTS.com. Order your fall seed kit so we can all grow together. Because in the seed kit, you're getting 4 types of gourmet lettuces. You're also getting cilantro, and then you're getting the bon calendula. And they grow great together. So make sure you pick it up because we only have limited quantity. So I'm going to get done with this. I'm going to start the other one because that's what I told myself I had to do before I go to bed. So I hope this video was helpful for y'all. I hope you are, if you're in an area where you can start a fall garden, I hope you're thinking about, planning about starting a fall garden, and let's all grow together. Y'all have an amazing night. I'll keep you posted. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, y'all, and we'll talk again soon. Bye, y'all.